PS4 Pro or the Blue Limited Edition, but that's a whole other story. We're talking about Xbox here right now. We're talking about Sega. We're talking about Genesis in particular. Damien from IGN is not a bad dude. I got a lot of respect for him, but he lost a little bit of that respect when he called this a living room. This is a bedroom, not a living room. He called it living room more than one time. Also, he just sucked at Altered Beast, and I don't understand why. But I mean, granted, I haven't played Altered Beast in a while either. Mine might suck, but he really, really sucked. All right, so there's the Mega Drive poster. Well, where's the Genesis poster? I mean, that is the Genesis. The Mega Drive was in Europe. It's called Mega Drive Classics Collection in the UK. So far, okay, my first early impressions and thoughts. I'm not going to give this a full review, and I don't even know if I'm going to ever do reviews on my channel. Maybe one day. I like the posters in the background, but the room looks like, I mean, I guess maybe it's supposed to look like around the 90s because it's a CRT TV and what have you, but honestly, it looks like it may be even the 80s. But that's all cool. The games being here is kind of cool, and you can go through like looks like a Genesis library. It's not all correct though because all of these games did not have this color spine. Remember Streets of Rage 3 having I think a cardboard box and not like a paper, like the instruction manual was paper. It was really cheap looking. Like the last bit of Genesis games from Sega, I don't know, they got cheap with it. I used to love the cases of the Sega Genesis games. That was one of the things that it had, were far and above the Super Nintendo. And then they changed it. Anywho, real quick, I guess we'll get to some of the features and I'll talk about the games that are on here. And the games are not on here. So they got extras like achievements, basically tells you, like play 20 games, play 50 games, like 200 magic, yada, yada, yada. Get 500 rings in Sonic. I guess it's cumulative, and then you got Dynamite Heady, and Alright, so then you got leaderboards, which I don't know how much, worth those are going to be, because every time I've seen a leaderboard from a Capcom or Sega game, they, at least on the PS3 and 360, they're hacked. So you've got these insane, absurd scores, like beating Resident Evil in a second, or whatever it was I saw one time. Yeah, right. Sure you did. But anywho, I mean, if you're going to cheat, at least make it believable. Make it sound believable. You've also got challenges where you get unlimited attempts, but it'll tell you how many attempts. Like I did this one right here. It just took me one try. This one took me 5 tries because I found out they don't count your bonus points at the end. You have to do it before you kill the opponent. Kill's a strong word. It's a puzzle game. It's a family game, but before you beat your opponent. But they got little challenges that make it, maybe a little harder for somebody that's played these games 1,000 times like I have. Space Harrier, complete stage 1 without losing your life. Some of these aren't that hard. Some of these are kind of hard. It just runs the gamut. I wish they had more. There's not that many challenges there. But anywho, I digress. Online multiplayer. I've only played one match. It was horrible. There was lag. It was Streets of Rage. I've played Streets of Rage, the collection, on the Xbox One and Xbox 360, and it didn't have the lag that this had. Hopefully that was just the, isolated experience. We'll see. So I don't want to comment too much about the online multiplayer. You can filter out certain games, matchmaking, what have you. It looks like you can't really choose the game that you're going to play, I guess, unless you start it up and then it'll match you with somebody. But it just kind of like, I turned it on and it kind of threw me into a Streets of Rage match. Didn't ask me what game I wanted to play or what have you, just threw me in with somebody playing Streets of Rage. And we were matched up at the beginning, but it's just kind of odd. Like I thought, I'd be able to go into the game that I want to play and play that particular game online, not be thrown in different game to game to game to game. You've got a voice option, what have you, and you can invite your friends and blah, blah, blah. As for filter matchmaking, these are the games that are online multiplayer compatible because they're not all. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21 of the 50 plus games, which are, Streets of Rage Collection, Wonder Boy 3, Virtua Fighter 2, Toe Jam and Earl, 1 and 2, Sonic 2, Gunstar Heroes, which is a classic. Love that game from Treasure. Golden Axe 1, 2, and 3, Game Ground, Mean Bean Machine, Crackdown, Columns 1 and 3, Bonanza Brothers, Biohazard Battle, not that Biohazard, Altered Beast, and Alien Storm. I forgot that Altered Beast was 2 players. Anywho, although I think it was 2 players alternating, but I could be wrong. Maybe my memory doesn't serve me right. You've got input options, basically mapping your controller, yada yada yada. Most of these games I think are 3 buttons, just not like Street Fighter 2 on here or anything. Although it does have the option for the Y, X, and Z buttons, so I think maybe some of the later Genesis titles use the 6 buttons. Not a lot though, not a whole lot. Then you've got console settings. I do like that CRT TV though, that's pretty cool that's there. Okay, so get your emulator settings, you can do the pixel scaling, or the blurring together pixels, and blah blah blah. You got different things here. That gives you the idea there of what it would look like. Alright, you got filters to scan lines, pause on exiting, switched full screen or start full screen. We can have it in TV mode. Disable the sprite limit. That's an interesting one that I'll have to test that at some point. Overrides the console rendering limitations, but may cause other graphical glitches. And the mirror mode, which is another really interesting option. You can flip the screen horizontally, and it reverses all the gameplay. Like I played Sonic, I was doing one of the challenges, and instead of running from left to right, I'm running from right to left. So it was odd. I'll give you that. And then your borders, I have it on the simple, the default grid mode, but you've got Circuit, Jazz, Wood, Sonic, Streets of Rage, Stripes, Black. I actually wish there were more options there, but we'll go with Sonic. And then you can eject the cartridge if you put something in there, which is kind of cool. Like it shows you putting a cartridge in. You can reset your console. And as for the actual games, you get 50 plus. I should count them all, shouldn't I? There's 5 right down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I know how to count. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. And with the 5 down there, that makes 53. So technically it's over 50 games. But you're missing Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. Why? Why? You got Sonic Spinball, and you've even got Sonic 3D Blast, which I hate that game. But anywho, you got all the Golden Axes and all Streets of Rage. You got all the Genesis Fantasy Stars. Yes, there's another Fantasy Star we're missing, but it was a Sega Master System Fantasy Star. Don't get bent up in a twist. We got some games that we haven't seen in these collections, if ever, or in a long time. Not in the last Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection on PS3 360, like Light Crusader. But no Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles leads me to believe that either, I heard rumblings of licensing issues with the music. I don't know if I buy that. It's probably what happened was they probably want to put it as paid DLC, which I groan when I hear that, but maybe we'll get some other games that are not on here. I'd like to see Home Alone. I know some of these games are licensed properties, and so they got to, get the approval of the movie studio that made Home Alone, this, that, and the other. But that was an awesome game I loved, and that was a Sega game. There's a few, like Eternal Champions is not on here. Why is Virtua Fighter 2 on here? That game sucked on the Genesis. Hear me out. Virtua Fighter 2 doesn't suck. It sucks on the Genesis. Virtua Fighter 2 on the Sega Saturn or the arcades is a fantastic game, but not this monstrosity. Alright, so you've got Alex Kidd, you got Alien Soldier, Alien Storm, Altered Beast, Beyond Oasis, which is fantastic. Altered Beast hasn't aged so well, but It was a classic back in the day. Biohazard Battle, not that Biohazard. Bonanza Brothers, Columns 1 and 3, not bad puzzle games at all. Not bad Tetris knockoffs, even though they're not really Tetris knockoffs. But isn't every puzzle game a Tetris knockoff? Comics Zone, which is an awesome game. Crackdown, Decap Attack, which, I don't know. Some people like it. It's a whimsical little, crazy little side-scrolling game. I don't really love it that much, but some people do like it. Dr. Robotnik's May Be a Machine, another puzzle game. Dynamite Heady, awesome. E-SWAT, Fatal Labyrinth, Flicky, Gain Ground, Galaxy Force 2. You could have gotten rid of Flicky and put Sonic 3 in there, man. Golden Axe 1, 2, and 3. 3 hadn't really been released in the United States as far as I know. Just 1 and 2. But 3 has been in some other compilations, so it's not new to the United States now, but it's cool to have it there. Gunstar Heroes, which I almost bought like a week before I found out this was coming out, and I'm glad I didn't now. Gonna buy it, backwards compatibility, play it on Xbox One for $5. Now I have it in here. Alright, Kid Chameleon, awesome game. Get your helmet, switch powers. Landstalker, Light Crusader, Phantasy Star 2, 3, and 4. Awesome RPGs, especially 4. This game was $99 when it came out, and it was worth every single penny. You got, I don't know if it's Rice Star or Ristar, whatever way you want to pronounce it. I don't really care. You say Rice Star, I say Ristar. You say tomato, I say tomato. And that's all. Call the whole thing off. Shadow Dancer, which is Shinobi. Shining in the Darkness, which is like the predecessor to Shining Force 1 and 2. Awesome strategy RPGs. Fantastic. Beating them. I've beaten all the Phantasy Stars. And I'm talking on the Genesis and the last collection. And emulators too, probably. But anywho. Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master. It's classic. Instant classic when it came out. Still holds up very well. I didn't mean to jump all the way down there. Sonic 1, Sonic 2. I needn't say nothing about that. You know about those games. They speak for themselves. Sonic 3D Blast. Sonic Spinball, which ain't that bad. Space Harrier 2. I love that game. Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3. Amazing beat 'em ups. I mean, right up there with the Final Fights of the world. Super Thunderblade. Sword of Vermilion. The Revenge of Shinobi. Toe Jam Earl 1 and 2. Nice that they're included here. They haven't always been in the collections. And then you've got Vector Man 1 and 2, which seem to be in every damn Sega collection ever. Not that they're bad, they're awesome games. Virtua Fighter 2. This version, anyway. Wonder Boy 3, nice. And Wonder Boy in Monster World. So, 53 titles, not bad. I don't know if there's any unlockables. Maybe not. You got credits up here. Got a bunch of posters in the background. All in all, not bad. You got room settings where you can change the clock. And I guess you can hide the room labels. That's all for the room settings. And your audio settings. The game volume and all that. Alright, so right away, let's get into it. Let's play Altered Beast, because that's what Damien played. And I just want to... Curious to see if I'm going to suck at it. Let's see. It's been a while. The emulation seems pretty good. I don't know what was up with the lag when I was playing Streets of Rage, but that could have been person's connection. Could have been a lot of things. Hopefully that's not indicative of the final product. Oh, I needed to get that. That's a power up.
Power up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Damien, from IGN. I don't know why you were sucking that bad at this.
Power up.
Looks like Arnold. Except he's got a really tiny head. Alright, I got hit. I'll give you that. That was the cool thing about this game. Alright, so bunch of great games on here. Right off the bat, we'll try my favorite, Sonic 2. It's cool how you put the cartridge in. Turn the power on, there you go. The sound quality is all great. It's not like that piece of crap, AT games or AT games, whatever the hell you call them, made with the Sega. They really need to stop using that company to manufacture that. But the emulation is on point so far. The only issue I have is with the multiplayer. And I'll have to try out a few different games, a few different times, a few different people to really comment about it. Special stage, here we go. It's the racing one, yes it is. The bad thing about having Tails is when you were doing this, if there was like a bomb or something to mine, he could lose you your coins. Because he always comes like a second, half a second later than you. When he's with you, you know, like this on one of these, the easy stages, he can help you get coins. But later on, your detriment. Yeah, those mines right there. I didn't know if they were on this early stage, but apparently they are. You gotta get a certain number of rings each time to keep going. And this is all to get those Chaos Emeralds. If you don't get the Chaos Emeralds, then it's pretty much game over. As far as getting the ending, I should say. You can still, quote unquote, beat the game, but you won't see the real ending. You get all the Chaos Emeralds for that. There's one, this first one. There's save states in here and a rewind function, I believe. I haven't used it yet. We'll get to the end of the stage and then we'll try to save. Tails is not that much of a help, I can tell you that. This actually came out on Sonic Tuesday. That's what they dubbed it when it first came out. Happened to fall on a Tuesday, it was Sonic 2. And Sonic Tuesday. Alright, so holding that to exit. Alright, so we can save it. Put in slot 1. I don't see the options to rewind. I mean, I heard there was rewind options, but I'm not. Oh, there's the TV. Full screen. Yeah, I'm not. Oh, there's the rewind. Okay. You hold the left trigger down, and you can rewind. You'd think a rewind would be a little faster than that, but. And you can also fast forward back a certain part. What do I want to play? Actually, you know what? No, I was going to do Streets of Rage 3. Well, too late. I've loaded it up. We're going with Streets of Rage 3. I changed my mind at the last second, but we're going with Streets of Rage 3. So be it. Great music, even if it was sort of lifted from other stuff, or inspired heavily by other songs. More on that later. What am I doing wrong here? Pressing the wrong button when you skip the story. Yada yada yada. We're gonna fight. I love the soundtrack from all the Streets of Rage games, but in particular this one. The graphics were amazing. The sound sounds a little tinny, a little bit off to me. Just a little bit. I don't know if it's that much that I want to complain, but I mean, it's definitely it's a gripe. It's there. I can tell a difference. I mean, there's no excuse not to have 100% perfect emulation on these games. Sonic sounded fine. I haven't tried every game here, so I can't sit there and comment about all the sound effects, but this one definitely sounds a little off. Oh, it also comes with a poster. I'm kind of upset how like GameStop and Best Buy were talking about pre-order and get a poster. You know, the poster's inside the case and everybody gets it. And all it is like a Genesis poster from years ago. I don't know how many of those they had lying around in the factory that they wanted to get rid of. But it says Streets of Rage on one side and I think it's Golden Axe on the other. It's really tiny. It's like a little mini poster. I mean, you can imagine it fits in your case, hold it up. It's not one of those Grand Theft Auto posters. But just to give you an idea of the gameplay. Sega Genesis Classics Collection, 53 games, out right now on PS4, Xbox One. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. It's been Next Level Taken. Thanks for watching. Until next time.